Hello and welcome here to Talk SCB, and we are 2 games away from retaining the La Liga title. We are victorious at the Estadio Benito Villamarin tonight, 2-0 on the day. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't fantastic, but what it was an absolutely crucial 3 points as Real Madrid and Atletico both picked up victories before us. Only a win would have been good enough to take us back to the top of the table, and that is exactly what we provided. And it started off very, very poorly, has to be said. The first 5 minutes were a signal of what was to come for the first half. We were slow, we were lethargic, and considering we had a whole week off in the lead up to this game, we looked tireder than ever. We really, really did. And I thought the performance in the first half, like I say, it was very, very slow. And in that first 5 minutes, we conceded a flurry of corners. We were slow to close down Betis. The fans were really getting behind them. And it was really, really looking tough for us. And then the first half continued. There was a lot of bad tackles coming in from Real Betis. There was bookings for some of our players as well. Gerard Piqué, Dani Alves, even Lionel Messi, because of dissent for the referee. Something was said. And it was Mateo Lahoz who was refereeing the game, and he does have a bit of reputation when refereeing our matches. But in the 35th minute, he did make a big decision. He sent off the Betis defender Vesterman, and it was a clear red card. You know, he'd already been booked. He was already on a yellow. He was one of the players who'd received a caution, and it was a clear yellow card for the foul on Rakitić. And that first half really just went on. It was quite poor. We didn't really create any chances. It took us a lot of that half to actually get a shot on Adan's goal. You know, we really didn't threaten. But one of the big things from that first half was certainly the performance of Neymar. He looked much more confident. He was picking up the balls in the area that he usually does. He was turning. He was running at players. He was completing the dribbles. He was getting past his man. And he created some really good chances with those dribbles. And I was really impressed with his performance in the first half. And it was nice to see him looking vibrant, but the problem was he was the only one doing it in that first half. The rest of the guys, Suárez and Messi, were particularly quiet in that first half, but the second half really did change everything. It's been the case for us near enough all season. We've been quite poor in the first half, we've been laboured, we've been slow, but in the second half of games we usually come out firing, and that's exactly what happened here tonight. Luis Enrique must really get hold of the players in the dressing room and say, look, we need to win this game, wake up. And that's exactly what we did. We started the half really well. We were on the front foot, we were going for it. And we were just, what we were doing was, we were pushing much further up. We were getting in the faces of Real Betis. We weren't allowing them to play out. And their striker, who scored 17 La Liga goals this season, Ruben Castro, hardly had a kick all game. Gerard Piqué and Mascherano, very, very quick to win the ball back. Jordi Alba and Dani Alves, as they do, pushing on. And it was a good performance in that second half, pressing Betis, forcing them into mistakes. And it was ultimately a mistake which gave us the lead. Lionel Messi dropped a little bit deeper and a bit more central in that second half. He received more of the ball next to Iniesta, both of those trying to work their magic in that deeper midfield role, and Lionel Messi it was that picked the pass into the area. Luis Suárez was lurking. Adan comes out, completely misses the ball. There's a mix-up between himself and his centre-back, and Luis Suárez pokes it home. Sorry, not Luis Suárez, Rakitić it was, who was in that area. The ball comes in, it comes to Rakitić. Suárez is in there as well. And Rakitić is the man who has the easiest of finishes and volleys it into the net. And that's 1-0. And that's a big goal. That settles us down. That gives us that breathing space. And that's what's important. Because then, of course, the onus then is on Betis to come out. But again, there was persistent fouling from them. There was poor play. And they really didn't do much at all on the night, apart from be very, very defensive, very, very poorly disciplined. And it was a really poor performance from them, really. All they wanted to do was foul, waste time. And that's all they did, really. And we just kept probing. We were patient once we got our goal. I thought Rakitić in particular was really, really good tonight. Not only his goal, but in that second half, like I say, he was pressing Betis high. He was winning the ball back in good areas. He was again tracking back and getting the ball back as quickly as possible. And it's been him that's been a really draining season for him. He's had to play a lot of games. And of course, every single game, he's one of the players that runs the most out of all our players. And tonight, after that 7-day break, he looked a little bit refreshed. He looked a little bit more energy about him. And that certainly helped his performance. Like I said earlier as well, Neymar was encouraging tonight. He set up a really good chance in that second half for Luis Suárez, playing the ball through. But the combination of the night, as it has been now for a few weeks, was certainly between Messi and Luis Suárez. Lionel Messi absolutely sensational in that second half. There was a number of times where he picks that ball up in between the midfield and defence. He gets that space, picks the pockets of them, and he just get the ball in behind. In behind to Neymar, in behind to Suárez. Excellent decision making. And the second goal really was something that just made you stand up and applaud him, because it was absolutely sensational play. First of all from Lionel Messi and then from Luis Suárez. From Messi's point of view, it was given to him in between the two banks of four. He had a little bit of space, he had a little bit of time, and what he did was completely slowed the game down. He completely stopped to walk in pace, and everybody around him did exactly the same. Betis sat as they were, their defensive line, and they were stationary. Messi slowed it down, had a look around, knew his surroundings, his vision was there, and with one sweep of that magical left foot, he plays a ball in behind, perfectly weighted, to Luis Suárez, who's made the most fantastic of runs, because he actually starts his attacking run in an offside position, but at the last possible seconds, he curves back inside, bends his run, and he's in behind. And it's really, get that goal up and watch it again, because Messi slows everything completely down. He shuts everything down, and then with one sweep, Suárez is away in on goal. And before that, Suárez had missed a few very big chances to double our lead, but this time made absolutely no mistake. A confident finish from him. That's of course 9 goals now in just 3 games over the space of about a week and a half. So incredible scoring from him. 2 assists tonight from Lionel Messi. An improved performance from Neymar. Ivan Rakitić with a very, very solid display as well. And it was absolutely vital that we got this win today, because going into the game, like I say, Real Madrid had won, Atletico Madrid had won, especially Real Madrid away at the Anoeta today. You'd expect them to possibly drop some points there, but Gareth Bale got them out of a hole. Atletico Madrid at home to Rayo Vallecano. Again, it was just the one goal that they won by Antoine Griezmann with that goal. So again, last coming into the game, playing last, the pressure was on us. This is not an easy stadium to go to. The Benito Villamarín is a very, very atmospheric stadium. Real Betis on the night certainly didn't make it easy for us. Ceballos, the winger on the left-hand side, absolutely annoyed me all game long. He's a 19-year-old, and he's got more of a reputation of being a diver, a fouler, a cheat, than he is for actually being a young, promising player. And for a player of 19 years old playing in La Liga, that's really disappointing. He stamped on Gerard Piqué, he fouled Lionel Messi persistently, he wound up Dani Alves. All he did all game long was cause controversy, and it was disappointing to see that from a player with a little bit of promise about him. But Betis, we limited them to nothing. They had no attacks through Ruben Castro. He even came off in the end. So defensively, it was a very, very good performance from us. One thing I will say as well, in the lead up to our second goal, the very, very big goal, Claudio Bravo makes a really, really key interception. He's coming out of his area, the ball is bouncing, he can't handle it with his hands, he gets in, he heads it away, and it's a really, really good intervention from him, because that's the one attack that Betis had. The ball was played in behind the danger area, and Claudio Bravo dealt with it, and then from that little counter-attack, Lionel Messi picks up the ball, and we know exactly what happens. And then it could have been caused in that moment, but after that, Claudio Bravo did come off with a suspected injury, and on his birthday, Marc-Andre ter Stegen came on and made a very, very brief La Liga appearance. He's 24 today. That was a little gift from the heavens, I suppose, giving him some minutes. But I don't think it's too serious of injury for Claudio Bravo, but it may be something that rules him out for the next match, or it may just be a precaution. We're going to have to wait and see on that one. But in terms of the performance tonight, like I say, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't the most fantastic performance you're ever going to see. But at this point in the season, you're not focusing on performances. You're focusing solely on getting those massive 3 points. We've blown our lead in this La Liga season. It's disappointing from that aspect, but what we've got to do now is grind out every single result. We know our squad is thin, we know our players are tiring, but the most important thing for us now is every game going into it knowing that if we win that game, we stay top of the league. Atletico Madrid are right on our shoulders. They've got some favourable fixtures coming up as well. Real Madrid have got Valencia in their next game at home. That comes after their Champions League game with Manchester City, so that's again another game where they could possibly slip up. But right now, we shouldn't be worrying about anyone else. We should not be worrying about anyone else's games but our own. We've got Espanyol at home and we've got Granada away, and it is absolutely imperative that we go into those games with the mindset of, if we get 6 points, we've won the league. No questions, no answers. The only thing you've got to focus on is our own performance and getting the results. Espanyol at home is going to be a a particularly difficult one. If there's any team in La Liga that wants to stop us winning this title, it's them. They want to really get one over on us. They want to spoil our party. But at home, there really should be no excuses. I'm going to have lots of videos coming up in the next few days, looking ahead to the end of the season, looking ahead to the summer as well. I've also got a video ready to upload right now. That's the video I've been talking about doing, which is looking at Claudio Bravo and Ter Stegen and deciding who is going to be our #1 goalkeeper next season. So I'll probably upload that just after this preview video. But let me know down below, guys, what you thought of today's performance. What do you think of the result? And what are your verdicts going into those last 2 massive games of the season? We're in a very, very good position now to win the title again, to retain it for a 2nd year in a row. Like I say, not great today, but the only thing is we won the game. We're top of the league. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. It's been a pleasure, as always, to be here. I'll see you very, very soon. Another win, another step closer. Visca, El Barça.